Moist inner throat meat chewing on your nose. I'm still sick, but also I'm Vangelus from the internet. I'm Chris. Hi, I'm hosting this stream today. I know it's a change of pace from the usual. We're brought to you today by Big Citrus and Honey. Just trying to melt all the biological matter that is inside my neck. So, whilst I wait for it all to liquefy, let me just say, hello to V-Rider and Long Was Here, and Timu Kananen, and Connor McClure, and Lee Kalba, and Cliff, and Tyler Nutter, and Monday Adams, and Eve Tronia, and Boulder, and Robot Lorekeeper, and Fuzzy Bunnyman, and Shia, and Griff, and Dynamo Dave, and Mozatron, and Student Scissors. Never lost the game, Shia. It's all part of the battle. I am feeling better, but it's now at the point where it feels like demonstrably better. It's rescinding and receding, but its continued presence has now entered into the realm of incredibly annoying. This stuff in here. Hi, Ronnie Lane. Hi, Scorp. It's now at the point where it's just occasionally I just go into a dry hacking fit now and then. And I still cough out some impressive colors. Only like 1 or 2, but still, I like knowing that I have mastery over the contents of Hi Corrito Prime. Hello, Adam Rock Moore. I saw earlier on. Amidst asking if I was any better, I'm doing okay. Also, there was a question of whether or not I've had any luck finding Age of the Primes. No, a lot of it still isn't out in Canada, other than that first little dollop. It looks like Armada Red Alert has showed up at GameStop Canada, but I've heard that not only is that toy really good, which is really solid, but it seems to be the shelf warmer of Wave 1, and so now I'm like, can I gamble? Can I gamble and try to get it on, like, 20% off, maybe, and then get a really solid Voyager and for cheap, because it's a Wave 1 Voyager, and it seems to be one that's lingering right now, so I'm greedy and full of hubris. Oh, these are not the subtitles. These are just they're the auto captions. They just kind of do what they want. Well, yeah, Wasp is the shelf warmer in Canada because Wasp is the only deluxe that shipped to Canada so far, which is super weird. I don't know why. Just to GameStops. Also Wasp, gorgeous in person, but also because he's kind of just lingering. I want to gamble on Wasp too. I would like to gamble on Wasp and try to see if I can get Wasp for cheaper, because that would be real cool. It's basically, I'm all full of the gamble. Yeah, I was reminded that I should probably say, did you know that I have a Toy Hacks code? Look, I have it all ready to go and everything. So if you want to save 15% off on your Toy Hacks order, that's the April code. It's Cotton Vangelus. So there, I did it! Just like we talked about 2 days ago. I said it at the front and not just the back. But yeah, Wave 1 toys for Transformers, I think, are, even though I lost the gamble on Needle Nose and Hotshot, because I just never saw them, it's still, I think it's worth the gamble. Worst case, I can probably just track them down later. Usually just shoplifter from $1 Billion Corp. I mean, I can only, my local GameStops, I can only do so much. I should put bunny ears on the Vangelus, make him Cotton Vangelus. I don't know. Like, if I put bunny ears on that thing, I don't know like how they're gonna mutate. It could be dangerous. What else was I gonna say? The other day, my AliExpress stuff showed up. So I'll just briefly say, this thing is, it's very just like thick. It's very fat. This is the knockoff. This is the Pop 01 knockoff. I like it. I had to do some tweaking on it. Stuff I was already aware of thanks to the threads on TFW. Kind of mostly shouting out because they take such good photographs. Option 0, once again, had some real clutch diagram threads of like things that are tweakable on this. The thing that I'm really proud of myself, though, is I was able to... I'm going to show off. I was able to get everything plugged in that was plug-inable, like all the little things here, and have the second vehicle in there with the rocket bed on top of it. And it actually still closes. Like, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And I was looking at reviews of the real one that comes with, like, just over twice as many bits to put all over the base. It's not common, I think, from what I've seen, for people to actually set up the base in a way where you can close it again with everything pegged in place. So this is kind of a fun jigsaw puzzle. Just trying to get everything to go together like that, and then, you know, this thing can drive along. It can spit out. It can spit out the bottom machine. This can go brr brr brr. There is. I'll demonstrate this. I was demonstrating this on a couple Discords. One of the QC problems. Whoop. Oh, that's easier to do than unpegging them. The peg holes on the bottom of the feet are another problem. they're very difficult to work with. I think that because this company, for whatever reason, decided to make the blue parts die-cast, I guess just so it's more clearly theirs and not the real one, the peg holes on these gray plates, which are not die-cast, these peg holes feel like they shrank more out of casting, so it's been a lot harder to get peg. I've had to, like, kind of work pegs in and out of them to kind of, like, re-widen the micrometers. I haven't had to shave anything, but I had to kind of, like, I had to pump them a bit. Anyway, there's a weird thing about this, which in one of the discussion threads, the KO thread, it's been deduced this is probably just due to a problem with the CAD model that they are using. But these little foldy-out bits, there's 2 of them. So what they're supposed to be able to do is fold out like that. However, this one can't do that second click here because there is a little bit of extra material up in there that is not up in here. You can kind of see that black line. That's like a hollow spot. And on this one, you can kind of see the... It's hard to tell because what you're seeing there is part of the stick. The stick is fine. It's under the edge there on this part. There's extra material in there. And it looks like it was just digitally left over before they made the molds. So the only reason why I haven't fixed it yet is because it's kind of tricky to get in there, and I think that it would be easiest with, like, a small Dremel tool. And the pin this is rotating on, the pin is shot through this barrel of this laser cannon. So it's, like, tricky to get the pin out. Anyway, that's, like, the big major problem I've had with this thing, but it's fine, because you only ever fold these things out if you want them out for this mode, and I just do them like this, and I think it looks cool. So, whatever. Yeah, this is, I call it the bottom machine, because, like, Battle Convoy is technically a Trivers piece, and so Trivers always have a top machine and a bottom machine. So, an X-Acto Griff, the problem with an X-Acto fitting in there is I'm not sure if you could get any torque to actually start scraping, but I haven't tried. It might be doable. I think it just might be, like, very tedious, because there's no room to get a good scrape going, so you kind of would just have to sit there going at it without a lot of, like, torque, basically, behind the blade. It could be doable. I just think it might take a while, and it doesn't bother me enough to, like, want to do it right now, but I think it's doable. Also, I'm pretty sure someone has popped that pin out. I just don't really know which way to start from, and once again, because it didn't bother me that much, I was like, maybe I'll just leave it alone. Start putting things over here. Anyway, this is the bed that doubles as a giant rocket launcher. And then, like, over here on the front, this is the top machine. I like this one a lot, actually. This is a really cool little thingy, because you fold it like that, right? And then you, like, flip out these little winglets. And then flip out more little winglets. And then, like, as the little cherry on top, you pull down little landing skis. I just think that's... Whoop, I just think it's very cute. Yeah, Xanax dude, this is the pop knockoff. By the way, the red is slightly more muted than my original Dia Battles, so this is actually really close to the Dia Battles X1 red, which is interesting. But, yeah, a little guy in there, a little harness. These are the very first knockoffs of the Diaone V2 with the neck joint as well. Which is interesting. And yeah, you know, I'm not going to do a whole demo on this thing, but I just wanted to share. I was just, oh, the other piece of TLC, this is the one that is very fixable. Let's pop an arm off. So, they added a ratchet joint to the outward shoulder motion. I think, again, just cuz. I don't really mind it, because it is also a way to differentiate it from the original. So there's a ratchet clicker, and there's no spring. It's just like a little palm ticker and a geared circle, and the ticker ticks against it like the Wheel of Fortune thing. But it's very common on this that it'll start off down here, you click it out, but then when you try to click to the last click, it won't actually click, and it'll spring back to here. And that's because the little ticker will get, like, caught on a tooth, and it doesn't have enough room to click back in. The way to fix that is you take out these two screws, you open it, and you put some shock oil in to lubricate it, and now it clicks again. So that's, like, a really simple fix, and it made me happy. So yeah, you have to with the knockoff, it's worth taking the time to, you know, read up on other people's experiences, give it a little bit of TLC, just so, you know, all the nice bits and pieces work the way you wanna. I will still say that and I'll also say my posit was correct. This thing is kind of worth the price alone, because this thing, for the most part, works fine. And it has, like, this ratchet motion feels delightful. And if you want to get half of one of these with no door or front, just a sliver of this, it's currently around $250 Canadian before shipping on Mandarake. So, and shipping on even a sliver of this is a giant box. Shipping will probably be somewhere between $60 to $100. So this thing is already cheaper than just buying a sliver to add on to a real one. So if you have any interest in just the pod gantry, it's worth it. And you're basically getting the robot, like, not for free, but in the realm of this stuff, this alone is already filling out a lot of the cost, just because it's a very large modular thing made of a bunch of pieces. And the only thing they don't give you of the accessories is the little flat T-shaped thing that can hold the old raid chambers. I don't know why that's been left out. They just give you 2 of everything, including 2 of the thing that lets you put 2 of these side pieces together. You can only use 1 with what they give you, so it's kind of arbitrary. It's kind of funny, kind of weird. Anyway, you don't have to, like, use any of this internal stuff, but I just like the challenge of trying to make it all fit. Oh, and this thing that can slide up, that gray piece here in the middle that is riveted onto the extending arm, this you can kind of see there. It's not quite the right shape, so this little elevator action gets hung up on this slit here, or on this sliver, a lot. I'm gonna go in there and, like, shave out that little side and the same one over here, just so that the groove matches more, because that, I believe, is the problem. I looked at some videos of the original, and that groove matched way better on the original. So again, little hinky things. You can still get the elevator to work, but you have to kind of push, and so I'm just going to go in and shave that part. Anyway. Excuse me. There was one other QC thing that didn't happen to mine, so I don't know if maybe I'm missing it. But some folks had this thing was only, we would stop there, once again, due to just some big molded hunks of plastic that were not removed before casting or whatever. But on mine, it does go down. You can just fold this bit out here. And that seems to work, unless I'm misunderstanding something, so, you know. Anyway, that's the knockoff pod thing. I will also say, unless you really want the shiny box that says Original Optimus Prime on it, that's very funny. I looked at an unboxing, so the original box is basically the size of 2 of these side by side. When they ship it to you boxless, it's this with all the accessories in 2 bags bubble wrapped together inside of it, and then the convoy robot bubble wrapped and then slapped on the side, and then that all bubble wrapped together. So there is big savings on getting it with no box, because they're shipping something half the size of the original box. So, especially if you're in Canada, and I know a lot of you aren't. Actually, in fact, it might be easier just to say if you're in an area that is not wholesale affected by all the goofy things going on, or you aren't. Either way, the savings are probably worth it to go boxless, and then just like look at a funny picture of the funny box that says Original Optimus Prime on it, because that's kind of goofy. Here's the original Optimus Prime head sculpt they did. I think it looks cool. My pipe dream is eventually it would be nice to like get another one of these, and I'll have one be Optimus and one not be Optimus. Mimicry, it's all over AliExpress right now. I got a pretty good deal on this because I used a coupon and found a seller that was... They only had one left, but they were about $10 cheaper than everyone else. So I got it for close to 140 USD. You'll probably find them closer to... I don't remember the conversion. If you can get it for 130 to 140 USD, you're golden. Don't go too much higher, unless the thing becomes scarce. It's hard to tell with these knockoffs. Diaclone knockoffs, like, sometimes just become scarce and then disappear. But that doesn't seem to have happened to Popo 1 yet. And they also don't seem to be the same people who made the Lost Planet stuff, so... Oh, yeah, Oma Ender, that's correct, yeah. If you can get a welcome deal, then you save, a little bit more. If you can wait for a seasonal coupon, sometimes you can stack some stuff on there. I don't... there's lots of tricks. This is what we're here for, though, is King Exkaiser. I don't know if you can see, here's the size of the box. Ooh. So, after that giant pizza box that was Battles X1, this is much kinder. And I have done a little bit of research on this. Oh yeah, Mimicry, it's also worth saying, the current price of a battle convoy with the trailer on the aftermarket generally hovers somewhere around $500 to $700. So that's another reason why the knockoff is like such a big thing, is because it's a fraction of the cost of etc. Long was here. They are doing Dragon Jet. They had a teaser go up the day this came out. Ooh, take care, Simeon Scott. Thanks for coming by, though. Yeah, Verspringen, we are going to gather way. Oh, Griff, yeah, local toy shop has one for 600. There you go. So, I have done a little bit of research on this, because I was fiending and hounding my way through, a couple different social media platforms of Japanese collectors talking about it, trying to mostly figure out, like, are there any fragilities I should know about, etc. But I also know that this is one of the most efficient boxings that they have done in a while. Ooh, Timu, do I have the last high-end King Exkaiser close by? I do not. My masterpiece Brave Exkaiser is at my mom's place on the other side of the country. Ugh. Stick these jokers back up here. Anyway, there's the instructions. So the way this thing is packaged, it's car, sword, king rotor. That's it. That is the packaging. That is what's in the tray. 3 objects. And I am very eager to find out how this feels in hand, because I have heard read some very good machine-translated posts from Japanese collectors. So I saw what is Toyrise. What I can gather, mostly from what I have watched so far about this, we'll find out together, I guess. But Toyrise does appear to be, what if we do, collector, quote-unquote collector toy stuff, but orient it to still mostly be like mainline Transformers type stuff. Playability first, etc. I guess kind of like what the Gutai is going for. Corito, no, this is actually the original Gundam. You can tell by the colors. I've heard of Figure-Rise, but Toyrise? Next you're gonna tell me they have a Music Rise. So one other thing about Toyrise that is worth noting is they have redesigned King Exkaiser slightly. Among other things, the really big thing, which I was wondering what looked strange to me in all the visuals for this. For the first time ever, King Exkaiser has abs. Usually he's a giant lion head and then a groin. So King Exkaiser now has abs. That's one of the big developments. These are very Transformers-ass instructions. His name is actually Gundam's Monster. I thought Gundam's Monster was you know, from Macross. For instance, here we go, right away. Big old 5mm looking peg on the back of the Kaiser blade. Also, Exkaiser. What an interesting palm feel. Feels a whole lot like... That's Robotech. Thank you, Lee Calba. Feels a whole lot like... Where did I get this from? There we go. So, I'm gonna kind of wing this a little bit. Because I'm educated. I've seen a little bit of how things work. Ooh. So those are like some soft D10 points. Ease him. So someone in the Brave thread in TFW actually was able to speak to that, about whether Exkaiser actually towed the King Rotor a lot. Because one thing that this toy cannot do is tow the King Rotor. There is no connection here. However, thanks to that kind poster, okay, so in the opening sequence of the show, there is a faraway shot of him towing the King Rotor. Other than that, he tows it once in the entire show for about 17 seconds. Otherwise, he never actually tows the King Rotor, according to someone who watched the entire series. He just does it once. The King Rotor generally just gets summoned and then starts driving by itself. Because, like, as you can see, like, it even has implied, you know, stuff up in the front. By the way, this feels a whole lot like Legacy Motormasters trailer in hand, as far as, like, weight and length. 17 seconds of bliss. Ooh, look at that flat... Hang on. I know there's a... Here we go. That flat thing under there. What could that be about? I wonder why these... Maybe there's... Is there like a post-setup thing I'm supposed to be doing? Where does this booklet start? Oh, okay, over here. Oh, look at that. This feels like it's supposed to be a bit lower. Maybe it's just... No, it's not as simple as that. What are they doing here? Oh, maybe it is as simple as that. Heh. Anyway, I wanna try to make a little Exkaiser. But I don't want to break it. Whoa, there we go. So very tight friction joints for the knees so far. The famous Exkaiser X-feetsies are on a little ball joint for the tilt. Wasn't expecting this bit to move on its own. That's kind of cool, because that vaguely fills in that gap over there. Yeah, hollow? Also, I just saw someone say, yeah, there's a lot of screws. Those are pinned, the hips, but there are a bunch of screws. This is feeling kind of sticky. I might, if it keeps feeling that way, brush a little bit of shock oil in here on the disc just to add a touch of smoothness. I wonder if this is supposed to fold a certain way or not. Oh no, that really matches up with his taint. Can I just leave it as it is? Or I can curl it like that. Lots of soft detents available. Like, this is a smooth friction elbow, but then the other joint at the top has a soft detent there and there. That's kind of nice as a double joint system where, like, you can set a detent starting point and then adjust the smooth curvature afterwards. Griff, you're supposed to fold that towards his back. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank you. Really feels like we're missing a taint plug. Yeah, there's no real peg hole down in here. It's mostly just assembly. Izim, does the KO convoy work with other Diaclone figures? Yeah, so far, I've done a few arm swaps, and I used the verse joint, the waist thing, with Dia Battles X1, and that worked as well. So as far as I can tell, Pop 01 is fully compatible with part swapping. Yeah, Connor McClure, they are not doing the hand reveal on this one, but you still get the shapes. And there is a wrist swivel. Are these pegged in? I can't tell. But I believe that we need to... double hinge this. There we go. Now we got that three-dimensional lion face. And yeah, he's very wide. That is kind of the look of Toyrise Exkaiser. Big and wide up here with all the stuff. A little bit of nod. Not much tilt. Oh, a little bit of tilt. And there's a waist joint, so you can have him going like, "Toh!" I do believe he is also, yeah, he's extremely built for the important stuff. Yeah, I don't know what the current state of stock... Whoa. That's for something else. I don't know what the current stock status is on Toyrise Exkaiser. Nor do I know if they really intend for him to be scarce or not. Like, I'm not sure if he's going to be, you know, eligible to have, like, a second production run or whatever. Yeah, the bicep swivel being between the two joints is kind of cool. He's in stock on HLJ and Ami. Okay. Yeah, it seems like he's just kicking around now. And I believe these are 3... Oh, no, there's no... Yeah, he doesn't have fist holes. It's just a divot. So I'm not sure if there's a hypothetical accessory he could hold. But he is able to... Oh, he was... What did I do? There we go. He's able to look like he's kind of walking. Here he is with deluxe gears. Can he walk in? I mean, I'm not sure. It depends who they get for the English dub, right? I have seen, I don't have them handy, but I did find a whole bunch of people size comparing this guy next to HasLab Starsaber. He basically is sized very comparably to HasLab Starsaber. So they knew what they were doing. My HasLab Starsaber is both in another room and also in Victory Saber configuration, so I don't have it handy. Whenever I do an actual review of this, I do want to obviously like have the side-by-side and everything, and a whole little bit. I've been brainstorming some stuff. But yeah, Exkaiser being basically like a deluxe is a pretty neat... it's kind of like what I was hoping they were going to do. It's a pretty neat play. The price for this, it's pricey. It's slightly, not slightly, but it is like a solid step above Commander class. I'm going to put him back to car mode, because there's a whole bunch of stuff involving the car mode still. I also want to see if the car mode transformation just has that wee little sense of satisfaction, if you know what I mean. Basically, ever since a little while ago last year, when the pre-orders went up, I was like, I want to do everything I can to experience my, like, what I consider to be the three base pillars of T-Spark. Like that whole, you know, whatever T-Spark is, the push they are doing for T-Spark. And so that to me was Adamus Machina Rodimus, Diabattles X1, and this. Because it seems like they're up to something. And I want to know what. Oh yeah, I always forget the Titan class moved. Because, like, in everything I've seen of this guy, the way I think of him is, like, nicer Commander class. But I wanted to say something else I like about this. Sorry, I'm all locked in and zoned in on my transforming. Jeez, I really like that it so far seems like they have aimed Toyrise towards in-hand playability, like almost pointedly so. and like not towards, you know, a Ryobot thing or a Soul of Chogokin thing. And I think that not only does it give it like a more unique identity, I think it suits their strengths better. But what am I missing? What is this supposed to be doing? Oh, it seems more. Oh, okay. There's a whole lot of like micro rotational stuff in these side arms. There we go. It does remind me a lot of what people have told me about the Gutai. In that, you know, it's something that is very much aiming to be something you can mess around with before it's something that's hyper screen accurate or, you know, has a whole bunch of different parts. Alright, so the first thing they tell you about the King Rotor is you can just stick the sword on the side like this. So this is also what I was talking about. Like just extremely Transformers ideas. You know, how do we store the sword? Stick it on the side. Evo Fusion! Excuse me a second. Yeah, Alexis Silver, that's what I understand as well. Like, I don't have any The Gutai, but folks in the Discord were talking about, like, those who do have it, were talking about it in a similar vein, primarily revolving around the newer stuff, I think. If I'm getting that wrong, folks who actually have any of it, like, let me know. Okay, so the first step of transformation. Take the sword off. So, we are transforming this into its new mode, the Jet mode. Because now the King Rotor is a multiform thing. Not in, like, astonishing ways. Like, for the most part, if I tell you a mode that I'm going to turn it into, you're probably going to look at it and assume what it's going to look like and be right. But in the new Gutai sequence they put up with CG animation, it does seem like the implied pattern of actions on this guy is that it's going into the jet mode and then turning into the body, if that makes sense. Whoa. I didn't even touch you. What am I doing here? Okay. So these go in tighter. Oh, there's a little tab here and a little slot there on the side skirt. How do I make them kiss? There we go. Oh yeah, for the jet mode, I saw this in some coverage too. They have you move the red bits up here. I think it's mostly aesthetic, but it does mean you reveal a kind of funny couple of thingies. Because there's also a gun in here now. So that's staying on. You're supposed to... Whoa! Oh, is this 5... It's a 5mm port! Evo Fusion! Anyway, this thing is mostly waggling around for the base mode, I think. But, Easter egg, somebody pointed out. There is a small, painted, dormant Kaiser blade in his leg, like in the anime. That's kind of a funny little thing to throw in. Oh, I was curious how these red things were attached. So the red things themselves use a 5mm port that's on the yellow cannons. So this whole toy is Evo Fusion ready, if you want to get creative. Yeah, Griff, I was just noticing, covered in 5mm ports. All right, then for the jet mode, you're sticking. There's two little slots here for them tabs. So we stick the sword on here, so it looks like a nose cone. And then they actually have a little spot here for the car to tab in. So there's yonder Exkaiser jet. It's pretty swooshable. You can imagine that you're piloting it. Doing his best Doug Arn impression. Bees, you had a 6-minute unskippable ad? What the hell is YouTube doing? Alright, so far, by the way, that whole experience, super easy. Nothing felt fragile. It's probably pretty obvious. And yeah, it feels like a big old transformer, basically. Like, as a non-derogatory. So for the next mode, I'm pulling these off. This is taking me to base mode. Okay. We'll do a pit stop at base mode. We'll take a look at it. Those of you who have seen coverage of this thing or advertisements for this thing, you already know where we're going. You already know what the base mode's gonna be, so let's all be kind to Grandpa Exkaiser. Freshly back, you know. These side skirts are double hinged. There's a hinge here and then a hinge here, so they can really get that organic sweep look. What am I doing here? I did hear some feedback from Japanese Twitter, specifically, saying... Some of them said, instructions, usual poor fare, usual unusable fare from Takara Tomy. So, Transformers instructions have a reputation over there, too, it seems. These are a little bit, like... How do you put it? They're not unhelpful, but they are very small. Like, they just had me, it feels like, wiggle this up and down for no reason. Okay, yeah, here is the base mode. It's got two little cannons. Spot for Exkaiser to stand here. If you look at it from a certain angle, it just looks like it's a guy who fell down, really comically. Something, if you've seen the Dragon Kaiser teaser, the Dragon Jet also has a base mode that it looks like bolts onto here. And it does make this look a little bit more like an actual base, because then there's like a big blue spire behind it, but it is a very Transformers-ass base mode. Anyway, let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's get to the fun bit. When we all got to start yelling, we all got to yell, King Roder, and shoot lightning out of our brain. Yeah, Bees, that was it. The the base mode is just like, it's funny. So this has a new way of mounting into the toy in order for the toy to, like, not be complex as hell, basically. If you know anything about Toyrise King Exkaiser, the toy that we're looking at here, you're already aware. If you're just an Exkaiser fan, this will be the thing you have to digest. So when we use that hidden joint in the thigh, and this locks it. Yeah. So this is the new form up. And then you get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. So I will follow their rules to a degree. By which I mean I'm already going to break them, whatever. It's very cool that this has its own tab connection on here. By the way, there are more 5mm ports everywhere. They are doing a Dragon Jet, so there is a Great Exkaiser on the horizon. So if you see superfluous ports all over the place, that's probably somewhat related. Alright, and then, some more Transformers-ass stuff. Instead of a leg slider, we got us a leg double jointer. So he's kind of got the aerial bot trick. That red thing in there is the double hinge. And then there's two different slots for that tab, depending what mode you're in. Hello, Freya! Silver Ball retool confirmed. By the way, ratchet on the top, heavy friction on the bottom. Alright, now we gotta pop the lid. And swing that forward. And then I believe this rotates, yeah. And then this is kind of cool. There's another double hinge dealie in here to unaccordion those two joints. And then there's a surprising amount, like we said before, there's a lot of, like, rotatey stuff going on here, but I think a lot of it's actually also in service of the articulation, from what I've seen. just a 5mm ported Transformers fisty kind of deal there. Clicks in real solid. Hopefully you heard that. So this next bit, for an entire day on Japanese toy Twitter, there was basically people going like, how the hell do you do this? So I did a bunch of research because I was like, is this something that's going to break or is this just something that's complicated? So they're like, in the instructions, it's like, close it. So what you're trying to do is there's a little tooth on there that's going to chomp onto that slot there. And my understanding is you got to push this with gusto. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there, basically, a lot of folks were treating this with kid gloves, and then they weren't able to push this together. So you just gotta give it a push till it goes clack. And then to undo it, you don't pull it apart. Where's the channel? Yeah, there's a channel on the side. So to undo it, you kind of pull it out the side here to get it off. But to put it on, yeah, you can't get it on this way. So to put it on, you have to push it on. Oh, I had it before. Now what am I doing? There we go. So it's just kind of odd. It didn't feel scary, but yeah, it looks scary in video. So I was curious how that was going to go in person. Is there like soft D10 points in here? I think there might be. No, only on the one side. It must just be some mold flash then. Also, why are these so layered? See, it's you just push till click to mount it in, and then slide and dismount to get it back apart. Okay, just so you can see what I did there. There's a collar piece, and then that hinges down. And then, from what I can tell, you're not supposed to do this when you shove Exkaiser in. You're supposed to do this beforehand. But, nose. And then, this is the other tricky bit. So, how do they show you in the instructions? So yeah, in the instructions, they're just like, on a tiny little picture, take them and put them in. So, what people deduced is that the actual locking points, there's a guiding tab here, or a guiding slot in there. The tab for that slot is this yellow bit on the crotch. The actual locking happens around the blue leg bits. I think it's those slots there and a bit of the hunk up there. Let's just see how this feels. I've never done this before, so... Also, what I understand is it doesn't go straight in. He kind of goes in and then tilts down a bit. Griff, yeah, my shoulders went together pretty painlessly. I was aware of some of the tricks going in. This bit, I can see the teeth. My understanding is this does actually make a noise when it goes in right. That said, one could always just put it in and then, you know, hold it in. Make sure I got the right mounting shape. Oh. Is that better? No, that's not it. Or is that it? I pushed this back a bit. Oh, hey, chatty guest. No, I appreciate the condolences. I have done a lot of research on this toy, so I know what I'm getting into at least. Yeah, I got this in the wrong orientation. Also, yeah, for those curious if this is still available, folks have been checking, and it is still kicking around on, at least on HLJ and AmiAmi. I do not believe there is any plan for this to show up on, like, Hasbro Pulse, so don't hold your breath for that. There we go. Hello, Tapaz. Oh, he went in. He's in. See? Now he's not falling out. He didn't even, like, I didn't have to push. He just went, like, shoop. He just, like, sucked in. But yeah, now from what I understand, if you just try to, like, shove him in there and then close things, it can resist a lot and bang around, but if he actually, like, clicks in, it's no biggie. And then there is a lock for the backpack down here with those two tabs. Oh, that's satisfying. And then we go, like, Cho Kyodai Gatai, King Exkaiser. What happens if you just don't put him in? Then he's not heavy enough. No, basically you would have you right there where you can see the white stuff there, right behind his head. Hang on. So that would be hollow there. But otherwise, yeah, you could just display them separately. But then it's not as fun. Oh yeah, these are in the wrong shape. I have them I have them in the shape they will be in at some point, hopefully in the future. Also, the wings can actuate backwards now, which is kind of cool. And I do not have any way to keep him entirely in frame during all this. I simply gotta do my best. I simply gotta try my hardest. Does he have a face under the mouth plate? I'm glad you asked. So this is where, I was talking about this 2 days ago on the last stream. This is where Diabattles X1 kind of shows him up a little bit. Because you lift this up, right? But then it does that. So the faceplate doesn't fold away. You lift it up to unlock it to remove it. And now you have this intensely handsome face. Oh. But yeah, I was kind of like, I was really confused, because I'm like, you know, I understand there's not, like, you know, tons of space up here or anything, but I'm kind of like, the head doesn't have to do anything for King Rotor. The thing just goes over top of it. So, like, you know, you went so far already. Like, why is this like a whole deal like this? Sky Seiyu, why does the Pose Plus Choryujin cost $650 US? Everyone is answering correctly. It's also because, like, my understanding is it does a hell of a lot, so that's probably why. I am a fan of the ball socket neck on this. Also, yeah, the lion's mouth can do that, so you can stick your finger in there and hurt yourself like on the original. It ain't pose minus. The mouth, by the way, is separate from the flame discharger there, so you can see it's not moving up. I don't know why that's interesting to me, but it is. Hang on. Okay. Oh yeah, other important things. Articulation on this guy, as far as I understand it, is pretty darn good. So that ball socket neck was great. This stuff all does its... Oh, wait. Am I... Oh, no, I'm not supposed to yet. Here's more stuff that's probably going to be important at some point later. You know, just to fold that away, reveal a port up here. What could that possibly be for? Well, this is just... It's not really a lion, but it's just... It's whatever, you know, Kaisers like. The Kaisers from space. They just, you know, one of them just has this on his chest. You know, he just thinks that it looks cool. So yeah, this can go out here. Double hinge that. Some wiggle on the wrist. We've used this for some of the modes, so there is a big old waist joint. There's also the deepest ab crunch you could ever imagine. Like, look at that. Feels lovely. Is he Yusha enough, too? I believe he... Oh, actually, he is, because there's a butterfly joint on here, and then you can move this to give him full coverage. So yeah, he's good. He's good. S+ tier toy, yeah. Adam Bilmu, Exkaiser is just his name. He's just an alien from space. He's a space cop called Exkaiser. It's, you know, whatever those words might mean on planet Earth, like, that's just a coincidence. Yeah, part of the reason why he's got this butterfly joint system is so that he can properly, you know, do sword stuff. Hang on a sec. Don't ignore the part where he's sitting down. But, yeah, you can have him set up the Thunder Flash pretty darn well. But yeah, they designed a friggin' delightful way to have full swordsman articulation on here. It looks really good. And also there's, you know, the whole skirt thing down here. That's starting from this part of the kick. Yeah, about 6 clicks to 90. Friction out, but it feels tight, and it is a screw, so you can tighten it, open it, tighten it, thicken it, whatever you need to do. Thigh swivel is a basic thigh swivel. We talked about the knees. Top one is ratcheted. The bottom one is friction. Put that together. You've got a double knee. These are tilting, right? Yeah, these are tilting. There's an ankle tilt! There's also a wheel on top of his shoe. So, if you put a bunch of this stuff together... Yeah, you can get him doing some cool looking stuff, it looks like. This is actually really freaking cool. Looking at this in person. That's kind of friggin' awesome! What's great about the sword, the 5mm is at the very top. The very top of the grip. That gold part is 5mm, everything else is thinner. So you're just locking it into one hand, and it's really easy to thread it afterwards. Oh, also butt plate. This thing's really cool. I'm really happy I got this. This thing's really cool. There are things on here I wish were a little bit different here and there. At the end of the day, he is a very simple thing to transform. So the being like Commander class plus, they're I guess yeah, new Titan class now. If you're unexcited by the king rotor standing up and opening, then you know that's that, right? But if you think this looks cool, then it feels pretty freaking cool too. And yeah, this makes me really hype about the Gaogaigar they're doing. Yeah, this guy, I think that all of this stuff is in part just to accommodate potential Obari posing. Like, I'm not very good at setting up the Obari sword pose, but I think we're not going to really know till the Great Exkaiser parts come out. Because this is too normal of a sword. I'll try. Phew, look at this. Look at how much friggin'... When I'm like, oh, can I angle this forward some more? Let me move this out of the way. Can I angle the... Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, okay. Kisama! Yeah, this is really telling me what Toyrise is. Also, like, looking at the other properties they're doing that I'm not as interested in, thank goodness. Stuff like they're doing friggin' Beta Man, and, like, there's 3 of them. Are they doing, was it Dugram or something else? They're doing, like a real robots thing as well. It really feels like Toyrise is, high-end, but we're building it so you play with it more so than, you know, build it so that you put it in its forever pose after you, like, take photos with every hand swap option. Oh yeah, like Ryu Kendo as well, of all things. Friggin' we're in the year 2025, someone out there will discover who Dr. Worm is. Or was it Professor Worm? I always forget. This is freaking cool. This looks freaking cool. Sorry, I don't mean to babble like a child, but like watch what happens when I turn this. Neurons, right? Neurons. Dr. Worm is that they might be giants. Well, one of the villains in Ryu Kendo I thought was like Professor Worm or something. He's the guy in the opening. He's got the little magic wand. He's going like, having neurons is neurotic. That's true. That's why they call it that. Oh yeah, there's also Toyrise Bravern, who is only sold with the spoiler armor thing. So it's kind of like your move, good smile. I don't have the Bravern on pre-order. I missed that window, but I might keep an eye on it once it's out. See how things are going. I do have a pre-order on the Gaogaigar, the Genesis Gaogaigar, because like the Genesis Gaogaigar I believe is even going to be like, you know, maybe slightly smaller than this. Maybe I misunderstood something in its when they were showing the prototypes, but the idea of a Genesis Gaogaigar that is just a playable toy is so foreign to me now that I have to know how it turns out. Oh, thank you, Chatty Gas. Yeah, he's going to be a little bit smaller. But yeah, Izum, I think they showed, or at least implied, that they want to do all the Gaogaigars and have everything be cross-compatible, which sounds friggin' fun. But yeah, the one coming out this summer is Genesis Gaogaigar, who does have a couple of part swaps, like, because they have limitations, right? So the Will Knife, the Bolting Driver, the 3 different bolts, and the Heaven and Hell Genesis hands are extra parts. Oh, and the unfurled Protect Shade on the one arm is a part swap. Because, you know, to be fair, the way that Hell and Heaven for Genesis works, how are they going to do that toyetically, right? Oh, a hair swap. I did not know about the hair swap. Rider Strike DMing me pre-order links. What? Too true, though, Timo. Too true. Yeah, friggin' lazy. Why is the Genesis bird not deploying 20 modular shards of diamond-shaped plastic that can reform into big hands? Where are 30 of my dollars going? Lazy. Yeah, to me, I think the biggest critiques of this toy, as just hot takes within, you know, hours of me opening it, I really appreciate the message sent by, you know, opening the box and seeing no hand swaps, no little bits and pieces, just sword, car, king rotor. But I really could have used something for a little Exkaiser to hold on to or shoot or anything. Like, that would have been cool. Maybe they can pack something like that in with Dragon Kaiser. Can the lion close its mouth? Yeah. I just saw someone say Ultra Raker in Toyrise would be cool. It would, if they do all the Kaisers in Toyrise, actually, you know, I mean, I want all of it now, right, to feel like this. If they do a friggin' Dino Geist to go with this, like, imagine a Dino Geist like this. Whoa! Ugh! I need some tea. Oh. Like, I would like to see just the free, like, yeah, I am there when if someone is going to say, like, they should do all of the Exkaiser cast in Toyrise. Yes. But, like, that won't happen, right? But if I have to get really realistic, maybe they could at least do, like, a Dino Geist, you know, maybe. Yeah, like, hey, you know, yeah, they could retool HasLab Deathsaurus into Red Geist, you know. But no, like a Might Gain done like this. Just I'm kind of babbling, but like this is a statement of a figure, much like Adamus Machina Rodimus. Dragon Kaiser is happening. Like that is confirmed. I'm gonna pull it up just to show you. Let's go on an adventure. Cause they got a teaser trailer on the T-Spark channel. I'll just go to the T-Spark channel. I'm seeing a bunch of stuff I don't even know what I'm looking at. Here we go. Let's see how well this tees up. I'm going to turn the sound down so I don't get claimed on. I don't get claimed all over. Let's discover together. So, right there. See, they have a Dragon Jet base mode as well, already set up. Just as goofy, right? Just as goofy. But at that point, that's kind of got something going on, right? I'm pretty sure there's an ab crunch in there too. And yeah, here's the money shot. So yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it. So yeah, don't worry. There's no date yet on Dragon Kaiser. So, you know, currently we are safe. But yeah, the big lion mane extender still looks like a separate piece. Yeah, like what else are they gonna do, right? But it feels like they're leaning in. They're like, yeah, it's a hunk that's just slapped on the back of the guy. But yeah, we can identify some of the connecting points on here with the figure we have at hand. I am really curious. Like, are they gonna give me my real big Kaiser sword though? Slackara. But yeah, like where is that stuff gonna peg in? So obviously we've got, this is the most obvious one because it's actually moving parts. But that's, you know, where the shoulder pads are gonna probably slot in. Down here, conspicuous tab. Lots of ports here. And then on the back and the wings, there's these like triplicate families of 5mm ports, and you can see them here as well. So you can imagine slapping a wing pack on there. The hands double hinge all the way out for Great Exkaiser's arms, too. Oh, look at that! That's really cool. Thank you, Marindex. That's a cool way to make the arms extend. Yeah, because you just put the gauntlet over top of it. Yeah, Rider Strike, a toy-ass toy is the best way I could describe this. Like, this is... It's just, like I said, this is a statement of a release. You know, this is what we're doing. I got a pen just for this occasion. I guess it's a good toy, right? Oh, there's more 5. Oh, wait. I bet it's going to use the leg lock stuff here for the boots, too. Oh, wait. Doesn't sound very good up here. Lazy, lazy, lazy. How hard is it to get Kaiser or Exkaiser out of here? Let me go figure this out. Yeah, back corner. I feel like I don't think there's any like animosity or anything, but a lot of Japanese collectors have taken photographs of this toy specifically next to the Gutties lineup. And like I think this thing looks like it fits in pretty well. And I feel like that is kind of like whether or not it's I don't think it's an attack, but it's definitely part of the intent is like, oh, people seem to like the Guttai being a little bit more toyetic. What if we're the Transformers people? We can do that. That was real easy. And he just clicked. Yeah. He just sucked in there. So this is the position. That's the form up position. Oh, that's satisfying. Cypher, someone else asked about that. So if you don't have him in there, you have a little hole back here, but also if you don't have him in there, then like you didn't form up. You know, it's not the same. It's not the same because if you put him in here, you know, now we go form up. And now you know he's in there, right? But no, you don't need to put him in there. It's just it's not the same. Also, for those of you, it sounds like some folks have just shown up. So hello. Do you all want to see something really freaking cool? You want to see something that you want to see something that pops my neurons? Check this out. Want to see this? Oh boy, how are we gonna pose a guy who has a big sword? Oh, there's a butterfly joint, but I need to get his arms to reach forward around his torso. Oh, that's okay. We'll just do all that. There, now he can reach around. That's so freaking Yeah. And then the sword, it's 5mm on the gold part. The rest of that's thinner. So, you just stick it in there and you just feed it in. Right? Big ol' ab crunch. Do you want to point the sword? Here, I think he can point, too. Ooh, that's 5mm. Yeah, there's a way to... Oh, here we go. There's a way to have him pointing. Ah. Now I'm just jerking the joint. I'm jerking it in and out. There you go. In fact. Oh, there we go. Who wants to be the cool one who starts yelling Kaiser Flame? And then... I'm kind of just having to, like, learn how these joints work a little bit, but... Oh, I got a cough coming. Let's try. Oh. That was building for a while. This is a bit of theater of the mind here. Oh, baby. Ah, that just means that all the infected flesh is flaking away and getting lost. I think someone wants to know how big it is. It's basically the same size as Commander Class Armada Optimus. What they did with Toyrise is they basically said, what if we just make Transformers fancy toys for other stuff? Toyrise appears to just be Takara Tomy saying our high-end is going to be high-end playable, not high-end display piece. What else is coming out under Toyrise? Bida Man, Genesis Gaogaigar, Bravern, Dugram, I think? And Ryu Kendo was also announced. But yeah, Toyrise it's what I was hoping for. The day that they showed this stuff in Grey Prototype, I was like, if they're gonna do a King Exkaiser who is basically like a leader class, commander class, whatever, transformer, and that is what the budget is going towards, is a big playable toy. Oh, it's Votoms! Thank you, Minor Edgar. They all look the same to me. It's because in Brave Saga 2, Votoms and Dugram were both guests in that game, and that's how I was introduced to them. But yeah, Toyrise is friggin', it's doing my thing. Oh my god, like this is so much fun. Some of the joints that are mushroom pegged in, they got a bit of squeak. I'm gonna give it a couple days in case it's just like, you know, acclimatizing to being alive. But all of those kind of joints. Oh, this is screwed in. That's a screw with a rivet, so you can just loosen the screw on that one even. Damn, never mind. I was like, oh, I can go in there with shock oil, but like, no, it's just... Someone else noticed this when I was first opening this up. Like, there are so many screws on this toy. Like, you can... There are screws! Adamus Machina is also so T-Spark is a wide umbrella of basically high-end Takara Tomy. So Diaclone Reboot has had the T-Spark logo added to it. The original toy lines they have debuted for T-Spark are Adamus Machina and Toyrise. Toyrise appears to be... Actually, I'll go grab the other ambassador. So with Toyrise, you have big playable toy, lots of bare plastic colors. The paint is for you know, garnish. It's not like this is a giant white painted piece. Adamus Machina is a little bit more like a Rio bot, a little bit more like Super Robot Shogoken. It's much more painted. It's got diecast pieces. It is still a transforming piece, which is pretty cool. And then amidst those two, you also have Diaclone Reboot. It's an existing line, but it just had this new figure come out, the X1, who feels like a step up in every single level from what I've messed with Diaclone Reboot. So, to me, these three are like the ambassadors of the T-Spark Umbrella debut, and they were 3 pre-orders last year that I was very set on trying to hang on to. And yeah, King Exkaiser is enormous. He is Commander class. Like, he could look Legacy Menasor eye to eye. MPG is also T-Spark. So MPG is just Masterpiece Transformers. I believe by moving to the MPG branding, what they've done is they're taking expectation away from Masterpiece. So it's just, these are fancy Transformers. Sometimes they're going to be animation-oriented. Sometimes they're going to be alt-mode-oriented. Sometimes they will be generation styles. Adamus Machina seems to be much more experimental, though. Like, for those who saw the stream or have seen coverage of this piece, the way that the Adamus Machina Rodimus transforms is extremely unlike other Transformers toys by the Takara Tomy engineers. So he's a much weirder toy to transform. I really like what he does, but, you know, he's got... The big thing, of course, is, like, the way the legs work, right? And that, you slide this bit out, then slide this bit back in, and swivel them around, and then, like, this hunk here, you know, this... what was the order? Yeah, there we go. Like, this is a separate hunk here, for instance. Once you know how it works, I find the transformation pretty fun and straightforward, but almost every step of this guy's transformation, if you only have messed with Transformers, it's all new concepts. Even if you've messed with third-party stuff, I think, there's a lot of concepts on this guy that you are simply not going to be familiar with. Yeah, Masterpiece, I guess. Yeah. And I believe all of this stuff, right, is Takara Tomy deciding to find its identity outside of Shinkalion and Transformers. Like, I think, hang on a sec, I'm gonna lean away, I'm gonna mute, oh no, I don't have to lean away, I can just mute. Not to be like a fancy pants, but I figured maybe you don't want to watch me blow my nose. Anyway, I think that Takara Tomy, they're trying to find who they are in the high-end space, and also domestically in Japan. And I believe that this may not be the intention, but the timing is definitely apt in that Bandai of Japan is kind of in a weird grandpa spot where they refuse to change anything they're doing, and what they're doing doesn't seem to be working as well anymore. They still put out fine stuff, but, you know, Soul of Chogokin is no longer like, oh, those are the best robot toys you can possibly get. Now they're facing things like, you know, Ryobot, and Pose Plus, and the Gatai. So, I think that this stuff is not just a it's just, for my own taste, it's a three-pronged thing. But I think this is Takara Tomy trying to find their identity in the space they occupy. And I think it's really cool, the identity that they are finding, because all 3 of these, for me, are friggin' cool toys. You know, 2 days ago, we streamed this one. The build quality of Diabattles X1 is friggin' believable. Like, all the proximity detented, sturdy-feeling joints on this thing. Oh, and to show off, by the way, this is where this one kind of beats out Exkaiser a bit. Is this one's gimmick is you actually can fold the faceplate away, and I'm kind of like, well, you know, what's up with this? What's up with this? By the way, you might be going like, well, where's your MPG Super Jinrai? How do you think I kept these pre-orders? Just being faced with MPG Super Jinrai and these three specifically, I was like, Super Genrai is okay, that's cool, but these to me are these two are uncharted territory entirely, and this one was starting to look like new territory. Oh yeah, I can show you the thing too if you want. Like, Diaclone Reboot has already been here for a bit. It is the boutique line. It's a passion project. It's like, you know, no reissues, small production runs, high quality control. Ugh. Oh, I stuck his head. There we go. Did the cool thing. I broke it. Yeah, like, Super Genrai looks cool. Aaron and TJ both got him and talked about him on we recorded the podcast a couple days ago. And it sounds like I'd like to pick one up eventually. But I was like, these are more intriguing to me and what interests me in general in high-end toys. And like, really, it's these two are the ones, right? Like, these two were the uncharted territory entirely. Diaclone Reboot's an art line that snuck onto a major toy company's production line. Yeah, kinda, yeah. Alexis Silver, my Super Genrai became available right as Canada postage strike was wrapping up, but Ami didn't get the memo in time and canceled my order when I said don't use DHL. Oh. That sounds like what I remember about classic Ami communication. Anyway, yeah, I'm really feeling it this T-Spark era. I don't think that I'm not gonna be a completist on anything. I think that sitting down and going like, I'm collecting Toyrise from now on. I think that's kind of like setting yourself up for someone to eventually pull a clip and go like, you said. But, you know, you just gotta play it by ear, right? And you see what comes out. Like, I'm not picking up the Beta-Man Toyrise. I know what Beta-Man is, but, like, it's not something I'm like, oh, I gotta own that, too. No, like, Brave Toyrise, I'm definitely attracted to. Adamus Machina seems to be, like, a 1 or 2 release a year line, so... Oh, and also, I only am interested in Adamus Machina Transformers. I know Adamus Machina is doing Liger Zero. That's not of interest to me at all. I hope it turns out well. But it seems like, you know, for Transformers, Adamus Machina, 1 or 2 releases a year. Like, I'll keep an eye on those. What if I told you it was Beta-Man and Bomberman? Oh. I'm a Bomberman... I only played Bomberman on my Turbo Duo, the secret Bomberman game that was in there. Think you'll go for Predaking? I hope I can. Based on my experience with this Rodimus, I am incredibly intrigued to know what they are going to do for the Predaking. It looks really interesting to me now. So I would like to. Beta-Man were the ones that shot marbles, I believe. Because I know there was the discussion thread that I saw for Toyrise was like, you mean Toyrise Beta-Man isn't shooting marbles? It's just lighting up or something? I didn't really get it straight. Yeah, the Predaking, I think, is only a little bit taller than the Rodimus. Oh, it started as a Bomberman toy line. Okay. Sorry, I saw something, saw two, okay, first up, back corner, T-Spark getting so experimental saying, I'll get everything Toyrise or Adamus Machina is just setting yourself up for buying something you know you won't like. Yeah, exactly. Can't beat a man, I'm an NB, that's true. Be dead, that's gotta be for the next, if they continue Beta Man, they gotta add in the Beta Woman and the Beta Them. Logos, any known issues on Diabattles X1? I'm seeing Ami has 5 pre-owned ones right now. Not that I'm aware of. Let me make a little bit of room here. Specifically, I know that it's not impossible to break these the little tabs that link the sword together. For those who don't know, this is two swords. There's like a little cockpity thing that plugs into the shield. And then to get these apart, there's 3 tabs on each side that are crisscrossed. And I think I've read, like, there were accounts of people who just pulled and kind of shredded them a bit. So I just, you know, I might break one sometime. I'm just trying to be careful. That could be one of the failure points. I know that Option 0 said they had broken one of the antennae on here, but it was because they dropped the... I think they said that they dropped the pod trailer onto this thing's head by accident. So, like, you know... so, like, you know... understandable how that could break the piece. But yeah, I didn't really encounter anything that felt, you know, dangerous on here. I'd be curious if, I mean, Logos, if you know if they have any photos. I know that's not really a thing, but, like, if they have, like, anything to describe the quality they're in, because if they're A or, if it's on AmiAmi, if they're A or B+, then that might just be someone who bought it and went, like, I don't actually like this, and just, like, sent it back. A pod grander would break most things. Yeah, it's a pause. I agree. One is opened, and then 4 have damaged boxes. The box is stupidly large. That is one. It's a single tray spread out to be like a pizza box. So the box not having stacked multiple trays made it cost $40 extra to ship to me. So that is something to be aware of with it. But also, yeah, if they wanted to have mint boxes, like it's a big, wide, flat box, it's pretty easy to ding it up, I think. Toy collectors learning that hardwood is in fact hard. True. But yeah. What was I saying? This Exkaiser's really cool. That's what I was saying. I'm gonna try to turn this guy back. So everyone who's here now, you all saw the cool pose, right? You all saw the cool thing. I can do it one more time. Maybe I'll just do it anyway because I want to see it again. There's a butterfly joint here, but then you can also do that to get it to go really across. Like you can just go all like this. Ugh, hang on a sec. Get that ab crunch going. Neurons! That's gonna feel like magic for several whiles. Yeah, kinda, yeah. Yeah, he's built to do the Obari pose, but this sword is just not long enough for it to really feel satisfying. We gotta wait for the bigger one. Can he pull the sword out samurai style? Like, you could pose him doing it, but there's nowhere for it to tab, or, to peg onto. So you could, like... Whoop! Hang on a sec. The part where his hands are also 5mm connected makes me wonder if they actually do want to do hand swaps for him eventually. So yeah, like you can kind of do this. Yeah, he's covered in 5mm connections. And amidst those connections are also... his hands are also 5mm connected. Mega Nova King! Oi oi! But yeah, it's the butterfly joint itself alone can go that far. But then if you want that extra reach, you can use the shoulder swivel to just, like, really swing it around. There's no 5mm port under his side skirts. His side skirts are able to invert to become gray, if you want. They're on a swivel. And yeah, you could, like, put a 5mm pegged blast effect in here to have him, like, GoBot shooting. And it was, I think it was Marindex who told me that, like, for the Great Exkaiser Gatai to come, you know, down the road, this thing actually just hinges out to get longer. For when you put the forearm armor on, and that's kind of cool. Also, there's another piece of Great Exkaiser engineering here. There's a big socket there, but this actually will fold up to, you know, pull in, so you can, like, slap the big shoulder pad on there. Dino King's head could also go in that 5mm port, correct. Dino King is in the other room. Oh, Great Exkaiser just has entirely new arms. Oh. I mean, that solves everything, then. Oh, I've got it open on the window still. I kind of see, yeah. Okay. I hope they do a cool Gatai video. But I'm gonna pull this thing back to its King Rotor self. So yeah, the wrist stuff is a combination of articulation, and for the transformation, you know, it stores in like that. So it uses one of the hinges to kind of hide away a little bit. At the very beginning, when it does the spin around in the base mode, you can see the arms hanging out back there. Okay. Oh, also you can do that. So you can giraffe neck it if you want. So if you do want, like, a really like, you know, if you have to do the photography, but you can have him, you know, look down and go like Kota. That's actually kind of cool. Here, let's get his handsome face out. Kota. Actually, that's really friggin' cool. I didn't think about that. So yeah, like, obviously, you know, if you look at it up here, it looks kind of silly, but that double-hinged base of the neck can be used for some dynamic photography. Can you do heroic S stance curvature? I believe so. Because he's got the biggest ab joint in the world. So you would just be clicking his legs back slightly. So yeah, you can do some of that. Back corner. I wonder if some of the shoulder extension tricks might also help getting the extra chest and shoulder parts on to give it clearance. Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, this thing is very much built to be playable. Whoop. I popped his butt plate off, but friction hinge is back in. Don't tell anybody what happened. Where's the nub? There we go. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. What was I doing? Ugh. And then boop the snoot. Oh! Take it easy, Connor McClure. I think for King Rotor, it's this way. Oh, right. Fold that bit up. No, the base mode was made up for this toy, along with the jet mode. Oh yeah, this is the tricky bit. So this is one of the trickiest parts of the toy, other than getting Exkaiser in the right position to slot in, is this connection back here. So to disengage it, you pull it out to disengage it. But to engage it, you can't do it like that. It doesn't hook around. You have to, with a little bit of gusto, you have to just, like, push it till it makes that noise. Logos, is there someplace that has details on how the upcoming Diabattles V2 is different from the original one? So, yeah, I can tell you, because I had to do the research. So it's inherited the mold upgrades that DA45 Diabattles V2 Red Lightning got. So, mold-wise, the antennae are no longer PVC, they're ABS and thicker. Also, the hands are no longer PVC, they're ABS and have a knuckle joint now. Also, the red Pantone has been color matched to X1, so it's a little bit. It's not as blindingly bright. It's a little bit more crimson, and those are the main differences. What was I doing? Yeah, that's right. That's right. It says, oh, you can't see that here. Etched right there in the back, it says copyright Sunrise. It's nice to see that on a modern toy from Takara Tomy. I remember those finicky little motions I did on this bit. There we go. Another one of those triplicate set of holes on the back of the bicep. It's show accurate with the copyright. Whoa. That needs some shock oil. Jansen, the Kaisering's going pretty great. I'm very much enjoying this piece a lot. It is highly toyetic. Yeah, there's just a lot of very tight swivel joints on this. They could well be fine. I just would prefer to lubricate them myself. That's just my way. That's just, you know, it's how I live my life. I also just can't remember how I did this before. Yeah, I like to have a good funsy time with my lubesies, you know. This is this way around. How much of the white on this guy is painted? I think almost none of it. Like I think all the white on this guy is white plastic. I was mentioning earlier, one of the pointed things about this this Toyrise stuff is the playability, and I think that extends into like having as little paint as possible, so you can't, you know, it's just not even you can't, so you simply aren't thinking about chipping any of it. Verspringen, have I used dish soap? So dish soap, there's a reason why I don't use it. I forgot now. It was some knowledge from back in the early 2010s. It might have been something about chemical reactions. Oh no, it was also on a certain Fig Arts plastic. Dish soap dehydrated the plastic so much it would eventually crack more, I think. But it was on specifically the old crumbly Fig Arts hips. Ugh. Trying to get the aerial bot trick to work on this bigger, more solid joint is a little bit tricky. You gotta go in there, push with your thumb. And then don't get your thumb trapped in the joint. That would be an embarrassing way to go, and they would not let you into Valhalla. Also, just notice the double hinge on the side skirts also allows them to get in position to use that little tab to go into that slot. But yeah, personally, like, I've never had a bad incident with shock oil. I use it with a paintbrush as well. And I just go super, like, you know, add as little as possible, see if that does it. Lexi Silver, if I died holding MP Great Exkaiser's sword, they'd let me in. Yeah, I mean, that's just science. That's some of the known science of Valhalla. I need, like, a big picture of friggin' the King Loader, or King Rotor connection setup. It's like, once I get it once, I'll know it forever, but I need to get it once. Be writer science, that well-known thing in religion. Yeah, exactly. You ever seen Christian Scientists? Have you seen Diamonda's latest history short? I haven't. I saw her talking about it on Blue Sky, but I have not taken the time to have a look-see yet. Here we go. There's a bit of line art. So what are you doing? Was it tabbed in already? No, it can't be, because that's not... Yeah, that's not in line with... it's got to untab. So it gets that extra little bit of dip. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Those who know, am I overthinking this? Or am I just not double hinged? Oh! Never mind, I got it. I was just not double hinging it right. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. That. I would put that under the same kind of idea as, like, it's not hard, it's just it's doing things I haven't done before. So I'm having to learn. Okay, clearly, also, there's like a circular cut there, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get this lined up into that somehow. There we go. Yeah, it's lined up into that cut. And that should mean that, yes. So now these cuts go into... like that. There we go. There we go. There's your big old King Rotor. Evo Fusion. Go jousting, I guess. Yeah, the King Rotor is just really a thing that gets summoned for a stock footage sequence. So on this toy, they've added a base mode and a jet mode to it. They're very basic. They're what you might expect. Still pretty cool, in my opinion. Kind of cool how the hip skirt tabs into the thigh, and then for jet mode, the forearm tabs into the hip skirt. So it kind of has a through line. At least it does once you line it up. What if you just don't line it up? Then you're just living renegade style. There we go. Okay, there's the jet mode. I guess you could close this. Oh no, it'll just stick up. There's the jet mode if you want to have Exkaiser just like sitting in here, I guess. So, I don't know, I think it's kind of a cool idea to like give it more modes. The whole toy basically, I think, so I was thinking this, and I think Wotafa might be thinking the same thing. Is this feels like this isn't old King Exkaiser. This is, like, you know, Kota is now, like, in his 20s, you know, or he's in high school or something. But then something's going on Earth. There's space pirates again. And someone says, like, we need help. And then Exkaiser comes in now, you know, 25 years later. You know, things work a little different now. His tech has been tweaked and changed with, you know, as time went on. It feels like a cool thematic way to think about this. Can you fold the wings to show how it looks with the arms against the body for car mode? Kind of like that. There's a little Exkaiser. And this has a little spot to tab in. I don't know, this thing just like swooshing down out of the heavens seems like a kind of a cool visual. It's like it's Exkaiser, but like not quite the same. You know what I wonder also is, like, are they going to have, to finish the Victory Saber callback, are they going to have a thing where you can, like, bolt the Dragon Jet onto the back of this to just have, like, a really big, long, silly jet? Like, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, Sword Nose Cone is ridiculous, but also if it's going straight towards you, it's like... You know, wow, that looks really stupid. And then a giant sword comes, you know, at Mach 2 into your face. And it's like, well, I'm the one with the sword in my face now. Yeah, you know, like King Exkaiser is just still living life, you know, out there in space. Doing whatever weird space cop things he's doing. Oh, also for reference, this no longer tabs in, but that's what it would look like. Vroom. Yeah, Mach 2, so you feel that blade entering your face the whole time. Uh-oh. I need tea again. Ugh. Still learning. Yeah, Long was here. I've been thinking in my brain how I want to do the gut tie on this one since I got, you know, full creative freedom and not beholden to old stock footage anymore. And also, like, what can I plan that I would actually ever get done is the other part of it. So I gotta navigate my way through my 2 self-masters. Hey, Ken Lord, getting over a cough yourself. Yeah, I had this past weekend, very suddenly, just a brutal sore throat. And I can feel it abating now, but it's been very irritating because I was not able to film what I wanted to film, which was the articulation segments for the other 2 Mecha Invasion sets. So now I'm all behind and stuff, and it's annoying. Asthma, so used to coughing all the time, yeah. Excuse me, that was really loud. I just got cat allergies, so every now and then I get a little taste of respiratory ailment, and I don't like it. I don't want it. But I got what I got. I got my little cat allergy. Which is a bummer. It's only a bummer to me because it's like the cats don't know. So I always feel bad because I'm like, oh. And like, you know, I know it's cat by cat and etc. But like I kind of, because of how bad it can get, I have to sort of assume the worst in all cases and then like figure it out from there. There's nary a 5mm port on little Exkaiser, so unfortunately you kind of just have to hold the sword next to him. So my personal belief is like the cats don't know you have an allergy. They just read all the wrong signals out of it and just go like, what's this guy's problem? I'm perfectly fine. And then, like, they're basically like, look, come over here. Come over here. I'm perfectly fine. I don't know what your problem is. Get over here. I'm perfectly fine. You know, and get over here. I'm perfectly fine. Why are you sneezing? Like, that's what I always figure. If one were to anthropomorphize the mindset of the cat in question, I always feel it's more like, what's wrong with this stupid, what's this? You know, like, I just always figured that's where they're coming from. Because, like, how could they conceptualize the notion of an allergy, right? Our Exkaiser's little hand's 3mm, so whatever they are, there's actually no hole all the way through. Where's my 3mm stuff? I know I have one around here somewhere. This is a little freak, yeah. Now his 3mm stuff is all bespokedly buried. Damn it. Lazy, lazy God, rushing human development so much. Lazy, lazy. Bet if you puncture one of them, they just keel over on the spot. I must have something with a 3mm peg in it. I'm just not sure what. Because I just kind of, I'm just looking around like what's near me, but most of it's 5mm up. I send letters to the devs all the time about the obvious mistakes in our construction. Here, I think this is 3mm. It is a 3mm port. So yeah, if you have a Diaclone Reboot powered suit, there, you just got a friggin' gun. There you go. Yeah, that's how you know that Exkaiser is like one of the good space cops, because he looks at a gun and he's like, I don't know what that is. how do how do I sword fight with this? The noble space super police, the Kaisers, they all look at guns and go like, I don't understand the purpose of this. I need one of these. This is how I deal with the space pirates. So we have a good old sword. Oh, by the way, common thing, I think, unless I'm thinking of something else. I think I saw some discourse about whether or not the tip of this was super pointy or not. Mine isn't. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of the little Predaking, that little Predaking with the biblical painting box art. Never mind. But anyway, that's what the tip of the sword looks like. What are guns if not sword wands? True. Yeah, I figure he would like look at a gun for a second and go like, well, if I hold it this way, then yeah, I can do some like wata and like, you know, tonfa around. Yeah, it's the little like tiny scale Predacons in that one pack, where like all the Predaking bits can form into just like a tiny mini Predaking with no thighs or biceps, and then like the box art is like the Predacons having the Last Supper. Ooh. One more time. that dry little. Ugh. I don't like it. Anyway, here he is with Bug Bite. Special Constable Bug Bite. He doesn't know. Oh boy. But yeah, I'm extremely. I don't know if I made it clear during this. I'm very much into this Toyrise Exkaiser. I think they done good. I do like this version of the lion face too. This is the Chad Jaw version. You like to get you like to get freaky. You like hey. Wait. Hey. You like to get freaky or what? Anyway. Yeah, I do sort of miss the flip around chest. This is a cool compromise. It does get rid of the non-lion chest. You bring out Adamus for this. No, Adamus knows his territory. He's like, if someone else has got game. Why does that look like? It's because of the underbite. The Boss Borat underbite. I don't remember this gunman. It's from the third movie. So I believe all of Exkaiser is fan subbed. My understanding is it's a super, super, super simple show. Like, it is really just the Geisters want to steal stuff, and the Kaisers stop them. And for the first half of the show, Exkaiser's big finishing move is just setting his sword on fire and then cutting the monster in half immediately. So you gotta know what you're getting into, right? But if you do just want that, like, you just want some simple... Yusha Brave, or not even Yusha Brave, you just want some simple, like, 1990s shonen anime, then, like, go for it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Well, sometimes Boss Borat gets, like, animated with it a little bit, but yeah, it's more implied. Also, Exkaiser's voice actor is amidst the Optimus Prime likes, is a pretty friggin' good one. I believe he went on to voice Vector Prime in Galaxy Force. The tires are just hard plastic. It's not really helping if I do that, but there you go. Yeah, they're just black plastic with the red painted hubcap, I think. Crossbones Koopa. How much for the Brave figure? It is, someone in chat knows the US dollar amount better than me, I'm pretty sure. Someone will tell you, I'm sure. 180 USD, thank you, Omander. I'm just also realizing how heavy this feels. This thing's actually kind of frigging heavy. Yeah, 180, 190, okay. You got that 180 shipped due to Game. I might, just for fun, maybe just for fun, what if I just run him back to King Exkaiser one more time, just for fun, Are we gonna be here all day? I mean, maybe. Quite the techno slab. Yeah, this thing is a big hunk of beef. A big slab of panel lines. Techno Slab is where Exkaiser plays sick beats of techno music. That's his DJ arc. It's one of those many things he went through in the last 30 years. 30? Yeah, 30 years. Ish. 30-ish, 30-ish, 35-ish, 40-ish, 41-ish for the last 1,000 years. Okay, Picky Peeves. He was also Magnus in the 86 movie dub. Yeah, he's got good, you know, he's got good super robot pipes. He's got a good whoa kind of thing going on. Is he a good super robot pipes? I mean, it depends. If someone writes pipes that way, somewhere in the annals of history, then, you know, possibly. See, can I nail this this clip connection this time? Oh yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Yeah, it's not that hard. You just gotta know where to push. I kind of push this. I kind of hook it over and then push down a little bit, but I'm not literally hooking. I'm just like kind of pushing diagonal down and then diagonal up. I hit the camera, but you know, it was kind of fun, right? Ugh, there we go. Oh, he was Arc in 01? Okay. Yeah, okay. What do we say to that? We say, "Huh?" I said, what do we say to that? We say, "Huh?" By the way, I did this. Followed by that. NANI?! Yeah, it's in. You just trust in the connectors and, yeah, okay. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, his plate! His butt plate! Oh, my word. Because I'm being honest with all of you doesn't mean we have to be honest with everybody. As far as anyone else is concerned, that never happened. Crossbones Koopa, do you have Jay Decker? He looks like Gundam in his Super Robot mode. I have, back out west on the west coast, in storage, I have an original Jay Decker. Just Jay Decker, though. I don't have Duke Fire. Oh, Picky Peeves being forced to watch Do You Remember Love Again. Unfortunately, it is your duty. You have to. Oh, over here, the butt plate. The butt plate has a little butt plug that goes into his 3mm butthole. That means he has a 3mm butthole. You can technically stick one of those things in there. Butt plug confirmed. How many DX Yushas do I have? So they're none of them are out here. They're all with my old toys at my mom's place. But I have a from Korea a perfect mode old great might gain. So might gain, might Kaiser, might gunner. I got J-Decker. I've got the 2000s reissue of original King Exkaiser that they did. I have a very beat up Junker Dugarn. I also have a kind of beat up, but I think complete Pegasus Saber. I have a very nice, hopefully still nice, complete God Silverion. I have a DX Great Goldron. That one I was able to put together properly. Would you trust a 3mm stand to hold a figure this large, though? I mean, it's not about the end result, it's just about the potential, right? Like, that's all I'm talking about. Ooh. Would a HasLab TF stand work? I think those are generally, like, kind of coded to the figures they come with, because they're usually, like, a very bespoke Grundle cupper. So I don't know that they would necessarily work with this. Oh yeah, I got Captain Shark as well, and Death Gary Gun. I've got all the DXs from Gao Gaigar except for Big Volfog. I was gonna say support arm. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the first word that came to mind. It's, you know, MPM Optimus has a 3mm stand port that is equally dumb and useless. Good to know, Valkaisis. Can you show us the joint again? Now gather round. We're gonna look at something beautiful. Ah! Yeah, I'm pretty sure HasLab stands are, like, it depends what figure you have, basically. Let's do all of that one more time. Oh! Not enough, though. Oh! Yeah, I'm just realizing, like, I forgot to even fold the main on this, on both sides! Oh. Because, yeah, I mean, ostensibly you can also do that, but... This actually looks cooler in the camera than in person, even. Jeez. Oh, thank you, Marindex. The robot mode stand connections are both 5mm with bespoke extra support and don't involve the vehicle mode Grundle Cupper TM. Oh, yeah, Sunset Prime. Like, as far as like a toy to play with, this is vastly superior to the Masterpiece Brave. Masterpiece Brave, like, it's worth noting, Masterpiece Brave is like nearly 20 years old too, I think. But Masterpiece Brave was trying to do Soul of Chogokin. It was trying to do all the things from the show. It was trying to do the different effect parts, the gatai, the way it happened in the show, with actually inserting Exkaiser and closing panels over him. This is just like a good Commander class robot toy. This is I think a very solid reimagine of Exkaiser, regardless. But no, I mean, if you were having to pick, like, right now, I would say, like, just, unless you really want that more kind of, like, finicky and you know, careful and granular old Soul of Chogokin style experience, like, this would be the Exkaiser to go for, I think. Yeah, like, Masterpiece Exkaiser was from the aughts, and it was technically its own line. Like, it doesn't really have a lot in common with Masterpiece Transformers of the day. Like, it feels way more like a Soul of Chogokin style piece. Or at least that's how I think I felt at the time. Picky P's fact-checking. MP King Exkaiser will be 20 in December. Alright, there we go. Still an impressive piece. Like, I would say, if you're able to get at a Masterpiece Exkaiser set, and you really like the design work, like, academically it's fascinating, and there's really cool stuff it does. It just, you know, it is not going to be something that you can just, like, slap into a pose like this. Because also, by having Exkaiser slot into the back like Bongon, they are able to actually fill this guy out with joints. Whereas otherwise, this would have all had to accommodate a little guy inside. And again, I think I mentioned at the top of the stream, for the first time ever, King Exkaiser has an abdomen. Because usually, this lion chest is just a bit longer and then goes straight into his crotch, and he just doesn't have a stomach. So, like, they actually added a stomach to him in this figure. Oh yeah, that ab crunch. Marindex, the best way to get the original form-up experience is the DX. Since, yeah, oh yeah, I also would agree with that. The DX is the essence of the form-up thing. And it's like, it's really satisfying, too, the way it works. Because the Masterpiece Brave is trying to have the best of both worlds, so its form-up is also a little bit finicky, because you have a little Exkaiser, and he's not forming up the entire thing, because they wanted it to still be posable to some degree. So it's kind of like a little bit of two different worlds. Yeah, Great Goldran, original DX Great Goldran is, I think, I mean, it's one of my two greats that I have, but it's fantastic. Like, it's super fun. And yeah, it uses the same bullets as G1 Megatron. Yeah, I was really fortunate when because in the 2000s they did a reissue of just King Exkaiser. Like, they never did Dragon Kaiser. And I was able to get that at the place run by the guy who started Fans Project eventually. And I think I got it for like under 100 Canadian at the time, and it was really fun. Sky Seiyu, thank you so much. Well, DX Goldran wasn't that only ever in Chrome, or like, at least like my Great Goldran is a mixture of chromed parts and, you know, mustard colored parts, but I thought the DX only ever happened in Chrome. Is MP Exkaiser the only Brave MP? Yeah, MP Brave was Exkaiser and Dragon Kaiser, and then they pivoted to doing upgraded re-releases of Perfect Mode Might Gain eventually. So they added modern sound chips and they updated all the paint jobs, but they were still the old Might Gain toys. Oh, yeah, I've never seen the all-chrome Goldran. That sounds Lucky Draw-ish. Yeah, Brave Revival Legends, that's what it was called. And I'm gonna briefly hide from the world so you don't have to see or hear this, what I'm about to do next. It was worth it. It was all worth it. Yeah, okay, there was a super limited, entirely chrome version in the aughts. That is starting to ring some bells. Was that around the same time as the Revival... Or not same time, was that in the same vein as the Revival Might Gain stuff? These are the legs, by the way, it's what we're doing down here. Yes, guys, say you. I'm like... I would like to get the Gutai Pegasus Saber. It doesn't come out till next year. That's so much time to think about how I can figure out how to do that, right? That's where I'm at. Okay, thank you, Marindex. Okay, yeah, I remember that now. The all-chrome set was the Brave Revival Legends version. Yeah, my Great Goldran was put together from a mixture of original Takara and Sonicong. So I just had like an OG-ish version. But yeah, I sort of remember that now. That's like, it's reactivating old memories. Picky Peas, if I do start watching Exkaiser, is there a better Brave series to start with? Like, the Brave series they're all very standalone. I think, like, as far as any standouts, it really is that Might Gain has a very big cult following. Dagwon is a bit of a... not a departure, but Dagwon is a lot more about its human characters, I think. Or not the human characters, but the fact that they all have, like, you know, a sort of tokusatsu-style step up to becoming robots thing. And then Gao Gaigar is its own thing, basically. Like, Gao Gaigar is very much its own thing. But, no, like, Might Gain has a lot of fans. I think Firebird is fully fan-subbed now? I know someone fan-subbed the Laserdiscs way back, but then they paywalled it. Might Gain is fully subbed now, okay. Oh, Might Gain is fully subbed, but after the late 20s it turns into Hong Kong subs. Yeah, Dagwon is like, they're like a tokusatsu team. And so they have like a suited armored form, and then with that they fuse into their small vehicles, and then the small vehicles fuse into combiners or bigger vehicles. And I think, I want to say all of the I mean, you know, not to single it out, but like, pre-Gao Gaigar Brave is like, also chock full of Obari stuff, if I remember correctly. Lots of very, you know, proto-Bravern jawlines and crotch thrusts. All Chrome Great Goldran is scary. Rider Strike, you did the episode descriptions for all of Gao Gaigar and Final on Crunchyroll. Hell yeah. Also, for those who didn't see, they did provide a very handsome face. Like that nose structure. That nose structure is really something else. Yeah, Goldren was like the Chrome Brave because they were all supposed to be made of solid gold or etc. So that one is oddly very durable Chrome. I know in Chrome discourses since you know the turn of the century, Goldren would often come up as like, why can't they just do Chrome like this? But yeah, Goldren was one of those, like, you know, properties where they're like, everyone's made of gold. And it's like, well, we'll figure it out. So lots of mustard-colored plastic. There's an extra what? Geiger's a show I'm very excited to watch, especially because I'm so intrigued to find out. Oh, I see. What actually Better Man is about. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't touched a Goldran since the 2010s, so maybe it's gotten worse since then, but I was always very astonished at like how Goldran Gold Chrome seemed to just stick. Like it's got like this like glossy thickness to it, but I'm going off old memories too. Alexis Silver, I could touch my Goldran now. I simply choose not to. Don't touch your Goldran in public. I mean, my Goldran's a mixture of Takara Tomy and Sonic Kong, so like, listen, we live our best lives, you know? You know when you get in that, like, that posing fugue state where you're like, the legs could be a little bit cooler. I'm like achieving that, that nirvana. Hello? Sorry, I just discovered a new joint. So there's a... You can fold this forward a little bit if you need, like, more foot action. That was, like, locked in like that. I didn't know it could move. So yeah, you can do that. Soccer kick joint. Yeah, it's probably for the super boots. But it's also useful here, because I'm able to use it to get a little bit of extra angle on that, on the toe down. I'm the chick who's known for hating Chrome with a passion. Yeah, I mean, we've all got our thing. I hate Tom Cruise. For the most part, I think the toy industry is, like... The main thing I think that was realized is, like, outside of small applications, it just, like, it's not protectable. It's still too chemically unstable. I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really like Chrome that much, but I'm fine with, like, when they put, like, little vac metal Chrome on the eyes and stuff, I think that looks cool. That's appropriate. They're both flakes. Jesus. I like that one too. That was good. That was good. Yeah, nowadays, like, you know, I'm fine with folks who like Chrome. It's just, like, as long as folks are realistic about the Chrome, where it's like, you know, if you like what it looks like, you know, I assume you know that you have to treat, you know, that stuff with museum gloves now. It's like, oh, what am I thinking of? Not soft B. There's like some old toys that have like certain material types where it's like, you know, I totally can see the, you know, empathetically I can understand, like, you know, oh, there is something kind of cool about this aesthetic. It can really draw in, you know, your individual's tastes. You just got to know that, like, yeah, it is a highly destructible arrangement that, you know, especially on older toys, was not built with the idea that anyone would care about it within 5 years. You can't stop me from licking my transmetals. Yeah, you say that. You say that. A couple months ago, when I was filming poor Jawbreaker, I wouldn't want to inhale near flaking transmetal chrome. That stuff is terrifying. I'm glad Takara got past their Henkei random chrome era. Yeah, I mean that's late aughts, right? Henkei came out in spring 2008, I believe. So that's still when it's like, yeah, chrome, it'll look fancy. But yeah, I have I like it in eyes. As long as the eyes are the right shape to catch light, then I think it can be kind of cool. I still prefer, you know, I think my favorite eye treatment is a punchy fluorescent almost level of brightness with a thin black lining around it, because I just think that looks really killer. Oh yeah, poor a good old Popey. Give Grimlock a chrome head; it'll look fancy. I do like, you know, in you know, now that it doesn't matter anymore. I think it's kind of funny, like, imagining that, like, Grimlock was, like, told, you know, okay, Grimlock, you can make part of you fancy, and Grimlock's like, you know, me, Grimlock, gets smart, just, like, dips his head in the chrome fat. Now me, Grimlock's head is rich and smart. It's like, why? Well, whatever. He's durable. He's fine. Oh yeah, Lee, I remember that. That was podcast era when that came out. Yeah, T30 Skyfire, where they're like, the chrome is the collector value. I think we were dunking on that on the podcast at the time, because we were like, what is famously not appreciated much in the collector sphere anymore? Yeah, I think we were dunking on it a bit, just because, yeah, it was a really funny way to put it. I can't get over how good this one pose looks. Like, there's other poses to do, but, like, god damn it. I keep looking back at my OBS monitor. I'm like, oh, ooh, yeah. You doing something later tonight, King Exkaiser? Yeah, I can. You know, we've all been there, right? We've all been there. Don't be a one pose. I'm not a one pose Andy. I'm not. I just really like this one. You know. No, the Skyfire, the T30 Skyfire Chrome, I don't think it was appreciated at the time. I think it was being described as collector value in the ad copy, to which a lot of people went like, is it red plastic underneath? How do we strip this? How do we strip this? Yeah, the chemical bats. Yeah. People were doing friggin' Breaking Bad, trying to make the chrome come off. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Takara Tomy version, like, was just red. It was just normal. And everyone's like, I want to import it for less collector value. Oh, in general. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a thing every now and then, you know, it's like, you know, like I said, like, I don't mind chrome in certain uses. It's never like, you know, my top of the mountain thing, but like, there are folks who just get a kick out of stuff like, you know, your lucky draws or whatever as like a talking piece, like, here's a toy, but the whole thing is covered in vac metallized aluminum. It's neat. In most cases, they're not, like, actually handling the things. I think they just, you know, it's a glittery-looking thing. Yeah, right, PT. It was like the backwards world. Because this was us coming off of Henke Henke. And then Hasbro was like, alright, we'll add Chrome. And we're all like, no, 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 no! Don't! Oh, it's too late. Okay. Oh, right, no, because Gigapower did 2 versions of everybody. Because they had the one with the chrome, and then they had the one with the oven-baked paint. And that was so wild, because there were people like, I'm just going to collect both. It's like, uh-huh. The Gigapower Dinobots are like, this big! And yeah, like Chrome is also, I don't know what, I actually don't really know the state of dollar store toys right now, but for a good while in the aughts, Chrome was also the sign of some kind of thing a factory could do for cheap. So a lot of like knockoffs dollar store toys would go to Chrome because it was a flashy thing, so it would be sparkly, you know, in the dollar store shelves. A lot of that Chrome, that stuff would just fall right off. Didn't they make 3 of everyone? I can't remember. I just remember Gigapower sent me a Snarl review sample, and it was the one that had just baking paint all over it, and it was very pretty, and Canada Customs ran a knife across its belly. And I tried to explain that, and then Gigapower were confused, because they were like, you're going to make people think that we're going to knife the toy, and I'm like, no, no! People would have to be really dumb to think that. And then a whole bunch of people were like, well, I'm not ordering that if they're going to package it in a way where Customs is going to stick a knife into it, and I was like, they sent it to me in a style... They sent me a test shot wrapped in bubble wrap a whole lot. It will not be packaged like that when they sell it. What? I was, you know, it turned out I was wrong. It turned out... Turned out I misjudged. I misjudged the people. Yeah, Ronnie Lane, Gigapower's whole thing was they had paint that they cured in an oven, so it would be like paint that was full-on, like, chemically bonded into the surface of the plastic or whatever. New Age went on to talk about baking paint all the time, but I think Gigapower were doing something where it was, like, really, like, a really big advertising point. They were like, it wasn't literally like, oh, we're stone-firing our toys, but it was, like, similar tone, similar language. Looking at Henke Henke on TF Wiki, forgot the last few waves the chrome was just the weapons. Yeah. I think they had one, like, you know, they had a couple, they had the Galvatron with the big silly tank turret. That still was my favorite use of chrome in Henke, was Galvatron having a vac metal chrome and silver tank turret. Because I was just like, you know, he's living his best life. Everyone already hates this toy. So yeah, he should just do that. He should just vac metal his tank turret. Add some little jewels and stuff. But for those who didn't hear, the white on this Exkaiser, as far as I can tell, oh, here, this white, wait, is it? Never mind. I can. There's a little peg. There's little studs down here. This is an insert piece. I think this is an insert piece. Oh yeah, that's an insert piece. I think all of the white on Exkaiser is just white plastic. Again, part of the design of this guy is to be durable and playable. So I suspect that gold, green, and blue are the only paint apps on here. Well, and, you know, and silver. Is the blue on the shoulder an insert piece? I can't tell. No, I don't think it is. Because like if I look really closely, I can see a little bit of red in the because these grooves are carved in, but I can kind of see where the blue paint meets red plastic inside the lines on one part if I look really closely. So I think the blue is painted, but it is sculpted in too. Worry about the gold in the sword, it's the part that's frictioning in. I mean, like, to be honest, I would not really, you know, mind at all if the gold on this part ended up rubbing off a little bit, but, like, it also doesn't seem to be. Well, like, worst case, if it rubs off, I believe the base, yeah, the base plastic color is this, I think. So I would be fine with it myself. Oh, they chromed his abs, too. Thank you, Piggy Peeves. That's how you know you're getting a good workout, is your abs begin to flake aluminum stuff everywhere when you rub them. I'm not a one-pose Andy. I can do other poses. That happened to my friend Dave from New York, too. Yeah. Dave's been there. Yeah. Aluminum dust like what nearly killed Buddy Epson's the original Tin Man. Yeah. That's, I mean, I know it's slightly separate from the stuff they sprayed all over Buddy Epson, but also seeing the glittering just stuff fluttering down from Jawbreaker was like, it activated like a very minor fight or flight in me when I saw it. I was like, I don't want to go near that. Snort chrome powder, gain the powers of that transformer. Exactly. That's why I hang out near Jawbreaker, so I can grow a saw blade out of one of my arms and also be a hyena. You gotta fix that shoulder. I will. For now, it's a stream feature. And I could fix it now. Oh no, wait, it's the one that was screwed in. I gotta... It's not just like painting it in. I gotta actually look at what's going on here. Because I do have my JIS screwdriver. I'll show you all what I'm working with back here. So the squeaky one here is a screw on a washer. Oh, Small Dream, you mean the Exkaiser box? Or do you mean the Diaclone box? I'm not sure if you, like, skipped back to look at the imagery of the VOD stuff. So what if I give it just a little, like, quarter turn left here? Ooh, that is really tight. There we go. We got a movement now. We bought the robot. How does it feel? It feels great. Toyrise appears to be built around the idea of high-end playable. So the worst part about its feel is some of the joints are squeaky tight. But I believe that is fixable. And I'm going to try that now. In honor of everyone who had to listen to that horrible squeaking noise for the last couple minutes. That can't be 5mm as well, is it? Anyway, yeah, it's just a peg with a screw rivet on the other side. So get out my old factory team. Get out my lube brush. Let's put very little here. Let's put a dab there, and a dab there. It's 3 little dots for now. There we go. Yeah. Vaseline Vangelus. All right. And now, let's see. So you might have noticed I wiped a whole ton of stuff off after doing that. That is because I didn't want to have excess at all. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Like, once it was moving slickly, I wanted to undo the excess as much as possible so that there wouldn't be too much lube in there. So yeah, now, it's still holding position. It's nice and tight. But it's not making that horrific noise anymore. Whereas over on this side, we have... Oh! This side was already nice. It was just that other side. Yeah, there we go. Ah, calm. Peace and quiet. Interloper. So this one's very simple, right? What? Hang on. Where'd you go? I just swatted Exkaiser off the table. He's back. So this one is a mushroom peg swivel. That's easy. That's easy clap. We take... This one you want very, very little. Just a little tiny dablet there. And then you go to the mushroom thing, take the brush, stick it in one side, stick it in the other side. And then we tweak it. That needs more. But it's better to do this slowly. You don't want to, like, just pile a bunch in, because then you gotta, like, undo it. And undoing it is more work than I want to do. Guten Abend, Shane. There we go. There we go. Marindex, I agree. I think a bunch of it is coming... I think some of it was the side, but there is a bit coming from the top, too. I wonder if I can just cram this in up here a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's got a little bit of a squeak, but it ain't... Like, I can live with that. It's not as loud as it was before. Maybe I'll just throw a little extra touch in there. There we go. There we go. And then, yeah. This little guy's hips are a funny thing. They are not a ratchet joint. So, Marindex, I'm guessing this is what you're talking about. Sam Watson Taylor, been watching since middle school, now I'm doing post-grad. Hell yeah. I hope things are going well. And then we're going to go a little dablet and a little dablet. I did the bottom of each of the rings. A bit at the top, too. Yeah. The one on our screen left is a little bit more goopy. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. The lube is over here on the brush tip. I'm just putting this in my mouth because it's a habit I picked up from mini painting. Now, the worst thing I could do is take the brush tip and go to straighten the brush tip out, and I'm not doing that. Oh, I'm out of focus. Here I am. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just taking the back end, sticking it in here. So I don't know. I can't do the ear thing. Some people can do the ear thing, but my ears just don't work. That's true. That said, I am a brush licker, but only when I'm using water-based acrylic paint from miniatures companies. Yeah, that is how they got a lot of lead poisoning. That and, like, when they would just, like, stick their hands in the stuff. Yeah, no, because I think it's partly because I have glasses on, but if I put it here, it doesn't stay. Or it's uncomfortable. I don't know, I don't like it. I prefer the... Either way, it's still a little bit of a squeak, but it's way nicer now. I think I'm happy with it. Feels better. By the way, I would recommend, if anyone is applying stuff like, you know, shock oil especially, or thickener agent, I super recommend getting some cheap paintbrushes to do it. I don't know why it took me years to come to that conclusion. Just, I never saw where bones came from. I just assumed that's how you make soup. So, I never saw a brush next to this, but the moment I saw them next to each other, I was like, oh, this makes way more sense. For spring, you say that, but also... I do want to give just one more little dab. I have a little, like, white bite on there, and I don't know where it's... It might have been from plugging him into Exkaiser. I could see that being a thing. If that's the case, then oh well. It's not snapped off, it's just like... Oh, it's already starting to go away. It was just, like, upset. Yeah, we bought. My understanding is shock oil, especially shock oil that's made for, like, you know, tiny little RC cars, generally is not going to react with most plastics. I broke it. Plastic reacting with chemicals, though, is why I... You know, you do what works best for you. I just highly encourage not using super glue as a joint thickener, because you might run into a plastic polymer that turns into soup or something similar like that. It happened to me once many years ago, and I still remember it to this day. So personally, for joint thickener, I've been using this because miniatures painting gloss varnish is like $2 for a bottle, and it's a dropper bottle, so it's really convenient. I know there's other thickener agents out there. It's just I think that's the most cost and space efficient thing that one can go for in a pinch. Yeah, good old animated Swindle shoulders. Sam Wilson Tire, do you think there's any hope of a Transformers 1 sequel, Transformers 2? I don't know that there would necessarily be a second movie, but given that all the assets are sitting right there, and they have a precedent set by the Knuckles miniseries, in a vacuum, I could see Paramount Plus having a Transformers 1 spin-off, like, miniseries. In the current media climate, I no longer know precisely what is set in stone anywhere anymore. Is the varnish permanent? Yeah, it's, so it cures really nicely, much like floor polish cures. But if you want to get rid of it, you could get in there with an X-Acto and, like, carve and then, like, peel it off. It will probably wear down over time, and you'd need to reapply it, so it's very non-permanent. But gloss varnish specifically cures a little bit more solidly than matte varnish, because matte varnish in this context is usually just paint without any pigment in it, to be, like, really reductive about it. Yeah, the varnish, you know what you're getting. Floor polish, the thing with floor polish, right? Like, this is like the kind of talk that we've had before, but, like, floor polish itself as a product is not sold with the idea someone's trying to buy it to have their forever bottle for action figure modification. So it's constantly being changed, the bottles, the brands, maybe even the chemical makeup at some level. It's very, and also I was told to consider that floor polish is not manufactured with the idea that it will live in a bottle for years and years and years. So it could start having weird reactions with the bottle it's in once a decade or plus goes by. It doesn't always, obviously. A lot of people have their 20-year-old bottle of floor polish. But the varnish is just, aside from being like, you know what it is, this is way more convenient than a giant bottle of floor polish. And this is in a dropper tip, so you can drop, if you want, you could drop some onto something, but you can also drop it onto, like a toy package window and then use a brush off of there or something. There are other things like, who was it? Gwunky had a big bucket of, like, the base stuff they make stuff like this out of. So, like, just the curing agent. I forgot what it was called. And there is something on eBay I saw that was referenced in the Diaclone mega thread called Kiki's. I don't really know what it is, but it's like $20 a bottle, I think. Or it's 20 for 2. Anyway, it was more expensive than that. So I was like, I know where I can get that. For bringing the floor polish thing, I think I probably was, it wasn't like me specifically, but I probably had a hand in it because it worked and I was trying to tell people about stuff. So I'm pretty sure I had a hand in, like, normalizing it to some degree. Kiki's is just matte varnish. Oh. Yeah, because matte varnish, the reason I go with gloss is because gloss cures a little more solidly than matte. Matte will cure, but it's, how do you put this? Chemically, it is more akin to just paint. Yeah, I had a video about floor polish, and then over the years, I sort of came to learn that video would make the rounds, and yeah. Yeah, matte varnish, especially if you don't leave it to cure for a while, it will, yeah, flake a bunch. The Kiki's price is just what really got me, because I was like, it might be nicer to work with, I don't know, but, like, gloss miniatures painting varnish, it's like $2 for a dropper bottle, so, Who is Matthew Varnish? Well, we don't call him Matthew Varnish because that will invoke his full name, and then, he'll spawn. So, yeah, floor polish came, like, on the podcast, it came up a lot because it was, like, very fresh on my mind, and I was like, oh, we figured it out, we fixed toys. I broke it. We fixed toys. Hang on, hang on. I broke it. I broke it. I fixed it. Yeah, the reason I went to gloss is because I learned from some miniatures painting videos that, like, you know, on a very, like, widespread, you know, not widespread, on a wide scope level, gloss top coat is more durable. That's why Gunpla tends to do gloss then matte, so that you have a gloss coat to seal all the painting that you did, then the matte coat to make it look nice, and then that matte coat might start to wear off, but then you just go psh, hit it with another matte top coat. You're not at risk of, you don't have your paint job protected entirely by a matte top coat that could flake off. So yeah, that's how I came to the gloss varnish thing. The black light thickener was Bondic. That stuff, yeah, it worked for me here and there, but then Bondic started to like that stuff didn't have a very good shelf life for me. So I was able to make Bondic do some cool stuff, but I think when I was using it, I also didn't understand like how much I would need to score surfaces to ensure it sticks. Yeah, like you could use matte top coat to thicken joints too. It's probably not gonna like cling as well in most cases, so that's why I went to gloss. But like, you know, a reason to stick with matte as well is like gloss top coat will cure shiny. So, you know, if you don't want that shininess, then you would need to go in and matte, you know, do matte or satin, you know, the in between, like on top. Yeah, like, and, you know, this is, like, a lot of my knowledge of this stuff is mostly based out of the miniature painting product. So I think it's not, like, inaccurate, but, like, there could be differences depending if you have stuff that's, like, Tamiya, stuff that has, like, lacquer in it. But in miniature painting, my understanding is matte varnish, for the most part, is just a pigmentless paint. But yeah, Jensen, that effect, gloss varnish should do as well. Like, gloss varnish over a clear piece will make it look like super glossy clear, you know, candy-like if you go really hard with a couple of coats. Well, the future brand, like, bounced around and, like, went away and then, like, maybe came back? I didn't really keep up with it. I heard there was geisters in here. I heard there was geisters in here. Who's been geisting? I heard there's some space pirates kicking. Oh, I hate space pirates. Ooh, I hate space pirates. No, I'm gonna get you. Oh. Hi. Me rolling up into town. Got a bunch of shameless friggin' geisters in the chat. It's messed up. My tea's cold. I didn't mean to sound like so tragic when I said that, but also my tea's cold. Trying to catch me riding geisted. Who upgeisting they braves? Yeah. Ugh. So yeah, you can put them next to each other like this if you want to. Ain't no crimes for doing it, and then you have a hole there. Oh, you can even see through it. Yeah, there's a hole there. Look, there's all of you. You're in Exkaiser now. Yeah, Iridescent, we were just testing it with a Diaclone power suit weapon. So yeah, you can... If you have a little 3mm weapon, the hole doesn't go all the way through, but you can, I don't know, just give him a gun. Holy crap, Lois, I'm a Kaiser. They say if you look through the Exkaiser hole for long enough, you see the face of God. That's why I put him back down. I'm not here to get any of y'all, like, you know, force ascended. Man, I missed being an Exkaiser. I wasn't trying to do any walking. It's just how my Lois comes out. It's just a holy crap, Lois. I'm in a Kaiser. Holy crap, Lois. I'm in a Kaiser. Uh-oh. I'm getting Kaisered. Somebody's geisting me. Where? I don't know if y'all are here or had it answered for you, but I know there were a couple questions from people just coming in about how this thing feels, so this thing feels amazing. It's like a Commander class Transformer, but slightly better. And you got, you know, all this kind of cool jointage and the double hinged stuff, and the top one is a little bit more detented. There's this really funny ab crunch. And then, like, you can undo and use the transformation joint on the neck to have him look even more farther down. So he's just like, who is this little mouse that I stepped on? Your father kept his watch up his booty hole because he wasn't going to let those guys take his boy's birthright. Double hinged skirts, by the way, and they can rotate for some reason. Ratchet at the top, friction at the bottom. And then just discovered, probably for the Great Exkaiser thing, but you can hinge this thing down. It gives you a little bit of extra positioning. Those geists! Unbelievable. It was a conscious attempt to one-up HasLab Starsaber. There's definitely, you know, like, size-wise, this thing, from the comparison shots I've seen, very much looks like a sibling piece to Starsaber, which it should, because Starsaber was the proto-Brave, right? Side skirt rotations for Great Exkaiser. Oh! Okay, yeah, I forgot what color his side skirts were. That's neat. I do like the little bits and pieces of, like, Great Exkaiser that are present on here. Oh, yeah, also, for those who haven't seen, you want to see the really cool shoulder joint. There's a butterfly, right? But you can also use this with it to go farther. And so you can, once we get the Great Kaiser Sword, I'm pretty confident this will be able to Obari pretty hard. Also, for those who don't know, there's just a handsome Obari man underneath. What happened to the focus here? Whatever happened to focus? What happened to this country? There we go. Yeah, he's terribly handsome. Does it feel safe pushing King Exkaiser's Lion face out with Car Exkaiser, or is it best to just do it manually? I feel like doing it manually is just more efficient. I kind of got the impression that this toy never assumed you'd push the face out by putting the car in. It just doesn't feel like you're meant to do that. So personally, I've just been going manual. Like, that plunger is so finger coated. Like, it's built for your middle fingertip. In case you want to see what I'm talking about. Get that plunger right there. Long River Valley, you're expected to finger your braves. Yeah, I mean, how else are you going to get to know them, right? Inbred squish face cat mode. Yeah, I had a family member in Germany who had a cat that was very overbred and had a kind of permanently scowling, kind of flat face, and the poor cat, their mouth was not the right shape for their tongue, so the cat's tongue was always sticking out one side or the other and could not, like, their mouth was too small for their tongue. Yeah, like, you could, like, I think you could push it through with the small robot. I just think it complicates things. Like, I can give it a try. Since I didn't really, like, bother trying, then the least I could do... The least I could do... is give it a try. Just for old time's sakes. Why does it have a lion on his chest? Well, basically, Exkaiser is from the Space Police Super Life Form Kaisers, and just happens to have that on his chest. You know, it resembles the Earth Lion. That's just a coincidence. Also, yeah, because lions are cool. True. Like, I guess, you know, objectively speaking, do lions still need the gassing up? Like, do they still need that bump? Do they still need people to go like, no, lions, you're very cool? Or, like, are they kind of chill about it now? Like, do lions still need the hand? Do they still need us, you know, getting the word out? This actually feels worse. Yeah, it's like it's adding steps that I can't fully see what I'm doing. And it's these white bits here. It feels like I'm getting like stuck on them. Yeah, it's resisting so much. It just doesn't feel great. Ooh, now I want the satisfaction, though. I want my satisfaction moment. Where'd it go? I want my satisfaction. Like, I've pushed it through, so I'm not trying to do the thing anymore. I just want this to click in like it did that other time. Oh, there we go. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Also, pushing on the nose, I'm pushing fairly hard. Nothing's happening. So this is not meant to be the ejector button either, I don't think. Take it easy, Picky Peeves. Yeah. This is just like... Once you get it... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's clipping in to these grooves here. And I need to remember, like, okay, the way when it works... I have this all the way down, like this. Sometimes I have it up too much because I'm trying to be clever. It's a shame it's kind of hard to show you what I'm doing. Like, is there any way I can... No, because if I hinge this down, I'm hinging away all the parts it clips into. Oh, yeah, okay, here, you can kind of see it now. So, when I stick this in, it is clipping onto those slits for the mushroom swivels, there. See, kind of like that, and then... Now it's locked in. Long as you're better to finger the Exkaiser hole. Yeah, true. Top chat my beloathed. And yeah, for these clips, what I'm doing is I'm putting it into position, and I'm pushing down this way up here and bracing on the other side. Hard to do with it visible. Yeah, if I just come over here and do it by myself. There, I got it in, but that didn't help anyone else. Any diecast on this thing? I don't think so, but it does have a very weighty feel in its legs. I think it's just very dense with plastic and springs and stuff. What upcoming TF releases are you looking forward to the most? Right now, it is waiting for Age of the Primes to fully come out in Canada, because we did not get as much as people in the States did. And I would like to mess with my pre-orders. And my pre-order for the Fallen, Megatronus, got lost because the store it was going to closed and moved all their inventory and pre-orders to the store across the street. And I checked back once they were through most of the toil, and they did not have any left. So now I'm still waiting. But yeah, those are the main ones for me right now. That Vangelus thing is happening again. I'm not trying. It's just happening. Yeah, for those who don't know, Toronto Eaton Centre had a GameStop, and then across the street on Yonge Street was another GameStop that was more of a flagship store. Just for like a decade, they've had the two GameStops for whatever reason. And then the one in the Eaton Centre finally very suddenly closed. No warning. So I wasn't like mad at any of the people working there, because like it very much felt like they suddenly had, hey, take on the entire inventory and all pre-orders of this other store now, like foisted upon them that morning. So when I went back like 2 weeks later, and I was like, I just wanted to check and see if this ever showed up, and they were like, no, it must have gone missing. And I was just like, no, it's fine. Like I could plainly see how much trouble y'all were going through with this whole scenario, so I'm not gonna make trouble for them over it. Anyway, I'm going to start orienting myself towards turning music on and other things. Before I do, hey, I have a coupon code for Toy Hacks. Look at that. Gives you 15% off, and it kicks me back stuff, whatever. Helpful. Good for the machine. Use the code. Use the... Use the code. Using the code supports the channel. Supporting the channel feeds the machine. So, you know, if you want to do that, you know, for this month, the code is Cotton Tangelus. Where'd that music go? Found it. Let's get this to a reasonable volume setting. But yeah, that was fun. It's fun getting to open a figure, especially when some folks who are watching have got it too and can like tell me stuff. As always, I cannot guarantee, like, yeah, we're gonna have weekly box opening streams, because, like, I don't buy stuff every single week. But this week was my double X box. It was the X1 and it was Exkaiser, so I wanted to have, you know, some fun with that. I am gonna, however, Long was here, has mentioned it before, and I mentioned it before, I am gonna keep in mind, if I don't know what to stream, I want to be open to doing yapping streams, and just sitting down for, you know, a couple hours, have a drink with a slice of lemon in it, and just, like, you know, yammer on for a bit, do a little bit Q&A or something, just talk about stuff. I think it could be fun, but all that aside, by the way, I do have new glasses. I don't know if I've mentioned. I'm on progressive lenses now, because my eyeballs are so woke. Someone laughed. Someone always laughs. Someone always laughs. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Take it easy, stay safe out there as best you can, and you know, make sure you find your centering point however you can. It's a funny world out there right now, isn't it? So, I'll see you next time. I'll see you somewhere. I gotta reheat some stir fry. I don't know where my button went. I found it! I found it. Huh? Yeah. Exactly what I meant to do. I found it. Goes in the hole.
Let them come.